I'm actually going to sit down and go through some emails that have been sent through by customers about nursing pillows in general, about the Feeding Friend, and I'm going to try and answer them as best as I can. Okay, so I'm just going to go to the first question here, which says, will my baby be comfortable on the Feeding Friend? Okay, I really like this question. It's a common mistake most people make when purchasing a nursing pillow, is having the mentality that the bigger and wider and fluffier nursing pillows is better because the baby will be comfortable. No, a baby cannot feed itself. You need to hold your baby while navigating through bottle feeding or breastfeeding. And so your baby cannot be left unattended or unsupported. And this is why the Feeding Friend provides the perfect arm support, because it's the right size to slide underneath your loading arm, hand and wrist while you navigate through those feeding choices that you'll be making. So great question that came through. Hi, I am trying to breastfeed my 4-month-old baby, but I have really large breasts and I'm wondering if the Feeding Friend will be suitable. Well, what I love about the Feeding Friend arm support pillow is that it offers various levels of support. And the reason why this is so important and great for women of all shapes and sizes is that irrespective of whether you have small breasts or large breasts or in between, it is entirely flexible, and because you can adjust it at the desired height and angle that provides you with the best comfort. Unlike all of the other traditional nursing pillows on the market that are restrictive in having a flat surface and often runs along the side of your body, the Feeding Friend for this mum who has large breasts can be put on the side of the body for the football hold, for example, while still offering that very important arm, wrist and hand support that's very much needed. Okay, let's have a look here. Ooh, here's one. Why do I need the Feeding Friend pillow? Okay, I love this question. Well, for my experience, I needed the Feeding Friend pillow. That's because I developed carpal tunnel syndrome in my hands, because babies are incredibly heavy. And I didn't actually realize that until I had my second child. I had already done the damage from feeding my first child that I wasn't aware of. So Feeding Friend is a self-care pillow. It's a preventative pillow to reduce your pain and enhance your feeding experience. It's incredibly important that when you're happy and you're comfortable and you're relaxed, that you understand that your baby's going to feel that energy and match that energy. So self-care is priority. Great question. That is why you need the Feeding Friend pillow. Okay, I already have a maternity pillow. Can I still use that, or do I need the Feeding Friend? Okay, when you purchase the maternity pillow, or if it was gifted to you, I imagine that you would have been experiencing a lot of back pain. The baby's ready to be born. It's a different type of pain that was needed, comforting at that time, whereas the Feeding Friend is specifically to help you while holding your baby and feeding your baby. So I'm not quite sure what type of maternity pillow you're referring to on this question, but it's really important to check, is your maternity pillow firm enough? Is it flexible enough? Is it adaptable enough to take with you out and about, to the shops, to the park? And is it going to last you for the ever-changing feeding positions that you will experience as your baby gets bigger and heavier? So thank you for sending that through. Okay, I am currently still feeding my 3.5-year-old and I'm wondering if the Feeding Friend will be suitable. Absolutely, the Feeding Friend is suitable for newborns all the way through to toddlers, and that is because it is arm support and it can be repositioned at different angles to suit the ever-changing feeding positions that you may hold your growing baby in, for bottle feeding or breastfeeding. So great question. I just want to note that as long as there's not more than 25 kilos of loading pressure, and that's purely to prevent your arm from sinking down. But yes, you can use the Feeding Friend to feed your 3.5-year-old. Can I be hands-free while using the Feeding Friend pillow? Yes, we do live in very busy lives. I can totally relate. But the Feeding Friend pillow is designed for arm, hand and wrist support only. It is not safe to leave a baby unattended on any nursing pillow, although it would be very convenient to do everything during that time. It's actually a really precious time to hold your baby while feeding. So in short, no, you cannot be hands-free while using the Feeding Friend pillow. That's because it's designed to support you to be comfortable, to enjoy actually bonding and connecting with your baby. I'm in the middle of doing my baby registry for my baby shower, and I have seen the larger body pillows, which looks practical, but I've noticed the Feeding Friend is small. How is this different and what sort of support will this offer? Okay, so the maternity pillows or the large body pillows are targeting you when you're pregnant to support you to alleviate that pain. I can't go into too much details because it's not my design, but the Feeding Friend is a nursing pillow that is super portable, practical for modern day motherhood to actually help you feel relaxed, comfortable, and to take care of your mental health while you're navigating through holding a baby for extended periods of time while breastfeeding or bottle feeding. I know with me personally, I actually breastfed my firstborn for 45 minutes each side. And when you're stuck in that position, you can get pins and needles, a dead arm, and actually really sore shoulders. So yes, while bigger may appeal as being better, a nursing pillow is very specific to help support your nursing and feeding journey and breastfeeding journey. Okay, the next question. I've had a look at your website and have noticed the Feeding Friend is smaller in size than other brands. Is the Feeding Friend wide enough for my baby? Really good question. The Feeding Friend is designed to support your loading arm, hand and wrist while you're holding your baby and navigating through breastfeeding and bottle feeding. So if you're imagining yourself holding your baby for extended periods of time, the Feeding Friend is designed to easily slide underneath your loading arm in any sitting position. And as your baby gets bigger, beyond the newborn stages of feedings, the angles in which you're holding your baby is going to change. So the Feeding Friend grows with your baby's milestones and supports you for the entirety of your feeding journey. Great question. Can the Feeding Friend pillow be used as a pillow for the baby? I'm interpreting this question as a head pillow for the baby, and the main purpose and design use for the Feeding Friend pillow is arm support only for the caregiver holding that baby. So while there may be other creative ideas that you may have to use your Feeding Friend pillow, I just need to highlight that you must be supporting and keeping your baby safe at all times if you do choose to do that. I know with me personally, I actually breastfed my firstborn for 45 minutes each side, and when you're stuck in that position, you can get pins and needles, a dead arm, and actually really sore shoulders. So yes, while bigger may appeal as being better, a nursing pillow is very specific to help support your nursing and feeding journey and breastfeeding journey. My husband wants to go on a camping trip. Can the Feeding Friend be cleaned? The Feeding Friend comes with a fully removable and washable cover, which is ideal for taking outside of the home and using on your everyday travels. So yes, you can clean it. You can throw it in the washing machine. However, to avoid any sort of shrinkage, I would recommend hang dry because everyone has a different dryer. So yes, you can clean up those accidents and mishaps and keep your Feeding Friend nice and clean. How easy is it to position the Feeding Friend pillow? The best way I can answer this question is to give you a scenario of a crying baby showing signs that it's ready to be fed. It's really important that you check in with yourself and make sure you're well equipped before you begin feeding. Things such as your water bottle nearby, you've got your Feeding Friend support pillow out of the travel bag nearby, and that it's within arm's reach. And so if you are going to be sitting down to breastfeed, making sure that you start latching your baby on first and your baby's actually drinking before you slide the feeding friend pillow underneath your arm, hand and wrist. And if you're bottle feeding, making sure that you're resting your loading arm first before reaching over to grab the bottle and to start feeding your baby. But regardless of whether you're breastfeeding or bottle feeding, when you are leaning on the feeding friend pillow, making sure that you're sitting back comfortably, dropping those shoulders, being more relaxed and just enjoying the overall feeding experience for a better bond between yourself and your precious baby. It has been 2 years since I have flown back home. I know, COVID times, and I now have a baby that I cannot wait to introduce to my parents. Is the feeding friend suitable to use on planes? Yes, absolutely. It is perfect for travel. It is lightweight. It won't take up too much of your luggage limits. It's neat, compact. When you're sitting on board the aircraft, really handy to use in the seat, whether it's an aisle seat, middle seat or window seat. But I personally found it really handy to use at the gates when feeding before going on board the flight. So really good tip there to have it with your cabin luggage. And again, you can tie the drawstring to your wheelie cabin luggage. So that's a little tip for you. But yes, it is safe to use on planes and have the best trip and enjoy. Hi, I'm booked in for a cesarean in 3 weeks' time and I'm wondering if the feeding friend will be suitable. Yes, actually the feeding friend is ideal for cesareans and that is because of its unique shape and the portability factor in being able to reposition it on any angle alongside of your body, unlike other nursing pillows that wrap around the front of your body that may interfere with the wound. The feeding friend overcomes those challenges by offering you really comfortable support that best suits how you're feeling at the time. So if you are holding and connecting with your baby, you can use your feeding friend and slide it underneath your elbow for that extra comfort and support without putting too much strain back onto your body so that you can better recover. We've also actually received feedback in the past from a dad who had a shoulder operation and he absolutely loved the support that feeding friend offered while he was bottle feeding his newborn baby. I have been advised not to use a nursing pillow, but I really like the look of the feeding friend. Thank you. Yes, I can understand how there is some negative stigmas around using a nursing pillow at the beginning stages of navigating through breastfeeding, and I'll just explain why that might be the case. And that is, breastfeeding is actually really hard and it's something that the mother and child need to navigate together, and that involves holding your baby. And so while some nursing pillows that are flat surfaced encourages you to lean down and bring your breasts to the baby, the feeding friend is different because it encourages you to actually get that positioning right, hold your baby, relax, and actually slide to support your arm and take off that loading weight and pressure to give you the best feeding experience ever. So much so that the feeding friend is recognised by Australia's expert lactation consultant Pinky McKay, who understands how important it is to feed while being comfortable to really enhance that bonding and feeding experience. Okay, that's all the questions that I have today. That was actually really fun looking into what everyone's thinking about feeding and motherhood and the product Feeding Friend, and I'm looking forward to doing that again.